Hey, we're going to the hobby shop this week. So, let's go. All right, here we are. Evan's got all the stuff we need, and he's fixing the truck that's broken.
Oh yeah.
And all of the stuff is here. Modeling stuff, paint, all kinds of crafts and puzzles and whatever this stuff is, and balls and parts, lots of trucks. Yeah, it's in trail at the mall. If you're ever out here in southeast BC, there's lots of really good rock crawling zones around here too. It's good for that. These planes, rockets, stuff, wheels, castles, homies, skylines. I don't even know what this is anymore. Oh, it is one piece. There's a sweet little crawler course. Got these little things. Used trucks to pick up. Airsoft. Yeah. Also, check out the website, islandtoys.ca. Is that what it is? I can't even remember. Islandtoys.ca. Ships anywhere in Canada and the US too?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All North America, all there. So hit him up. And sometimes he even does special orders if you like are nice enough. And yeah, we live in the middle of nowhere, kinda. Has its benefit. Fixing, all kinds of stuff getting fixed.
The airsoft stuff we got into.
Yeah. Airsoft tanks. Look, that's good.
That's good.
Look at that. He even trimmed the wires down for us. So nice.
Very nice.
Just need to start carrying these too. So, got the short can version here, and then the long can here, if you can see it in there. So, once we get that all fixed, we're gonna do a little test comparison and see how it goes.
I like your wire management.
Yeah, I tried to keep it.
I always appreciate good wire management. Right? It's just, you know, it's nice to see.
Best.
Yeah.
Jam it all in the conduit and good to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right, so went to the shop, saw some stuff. Island Toys, that's pretty cool. So I figured I'd do a little bench nonsense, just talking about stuff, random things for a bit here. So see what that's like. All right, so just a little overview. This is the spicy tofu, rival MT10. This one has the Hobbywing Max10 SCT and a rocket motor, slightly longer, 3200 kV. I think it's the 5560, 5650. I can never remember the damn size, but the slightly longer can. Unlike my buddy there, for that one we got the shorter one, which is the same as the stock motor. So we'll do a little comparison with those once his is all sorted out. He's putting the spur gear on and dealing with some other stuff. But yeah, this one, other than that, what else have I changed on this? So this one has the M2C carbon fiber motor plate, and that's been working really well. I've had that for a few months. Oh, by the way, this ESC I've had for 8 years maybe at this point, and it's still going strong. So I'm a big fan of the Hobbywing stuff. I've gone through a couple motors on this one. I added this foam here. This really helps protect your body and kind of make everything solid. With the Basherbodies, you don't really even need that, but it helps protect the body posts. And since I put this foam on, I've broken way less body posts and body mounts. So I would recommend doing that for sure. I also switched a lot of the hardware on this over to 2.5 mil column head screws like this. And that way they're all the same size and just harder to strip these larger ones. So I changed most of my screws over to that. And if you got the hardware, it's a good thing to do. And I've got the RPM arms in the front and the rear. Finally broke one of the fronts. I've also broken a rear. But in the 2 years I think I've had this truck, that's it. One rear, one front. Otherwise, yeah, and then also I replaced this with a metal piece because the plastic one tends to loosen off or strip out, and just not great. So this one here is actually for a Traxxas TRX4. It has just the right size and everything to fit in there, and that works really nice. And then on this one, of course, I got these Proline Masher wheels, which are a little heavy, but they work, and they're great for flipping. There's lots of momentum, and now that they're broken in, they're pretty grippy. So the other thing on this that's different is these drive shafts, and I've gone on about this at length. But these are the Traxxas drive shafts, the XHD, I think it's 6851A, something like that. I'll put a link in the description to the videos with that. You can use these just by drilling out that end and this end and replacing it with the thing. I'm going to take them apart and do some little comparisons here for that in a moment, but that's basically this truck. And then of course the Basherbodies, which are awesome, and I can't recommend these enough. They are so strong, and I went through 10 bodies a year before I got this, potentially, and you know, at least 5 bodies a year with 3 trucks, you know. And since I got these, I have not had to use any other bodies. So, and I think they got a new one that fits the MT10 perfectly now, so check that out. All right, so let's look at my other truck, my other MT10. That's this one. This is Cozy Tofu, and I call it Cozy because it's got a slightly lower power setup, so it's a little easier to drive. They're called Tofu because all of my cars used to have these bodies, this 8.6 body from Initial D, well, knockoff from Initial D, which I love. And I have an 8.6, an actual full-size one also. Not a hatchback, it's a coupe, but I love it. Anyways, and I used to have a hatchback before I crashed it. But anyway, so that's why they're called Tofu. Cozy Tofu and Spicy Tofu, and then Super Tofu. And then this one isn't really a tofu, it's just a crawler. So anyways, this one here has the 10BL 120 G2, the newer one, and that works pretty good, and it's the same motor that came with it, the long can 3660, that's the size. And this one's a little slower, it's a 3150, the other one's got a 3200, so tiny bit slower. Same motor plate, MTC plate on there, same stuff in the front, same foam, same deal in the back too. This one also has the Traxxas drive shafts, and I've been running them on here for 6 months, almost a year maybe, and they are doing great. Still no problems. A little bit of floppiness because it's not the perfect fit inside that piece. Anyways, that's what's going on with those. For controllers, I use this controller with Cozy Tofu and this controller with Spicy Tofu, the Max10. This is not very good. It's pretty rough, not very great control. The only benefit with this is it's tiny, so it's good for little kids. And it takes AAAs, which is a pain in the ass. But it works okay, and it's really, really cheap. So if you need something that'll work with a kid, this is a good option. It's just a no-name, you know, Amazon. I can't remember. Whatever. This one's a Dumbo RC XF6 or something, I think. I can't remember the model name. I never know these things, but this has been great. It's got great range, really good responsiveness, decent little controls, and the batteries last a long time. The only thing is it's got a plastic wheel, which is kind of crappy. And it's kind of, you know, old school. The wheel's not great, but otherwise this is really good and pretty cheap. And then I got a GT5, which is what I use for the Tekno and for the crawler, because I never drive those at the same time. And this has been awesome too. This is the best controller, other than it drains batteries when it's turned off. So make sure you unplug your batteries when you have this turned off. And that's what's up. I hear the GT2 is also a really good basic controller. That's what they got at the shop there, and they use those. So anyways, I'm gonna pull one of these shafts out, and we can take a look at some things and compare some things with those shafts, because a couple of people have been asking questions about that, and I want to try a couple of fit things. So let's do that. Okay, I have one of the Traxxas drive shafts pulled out of spicy tofu here. And the way I have this one set up to work, this is a regular Traxxas. All the pieces are Traxxas pieces except this, which is the OEM associated piece. Drill this hole out a little bit so it'll fit onto that. And then you have to drill this hole out a little bit so this one fits. Pin out, you can pull that out and you can see that's getting a little chewed up in there because it's not a perfect hex, so it doesn't lock in there, so it can swivel around just a little bit. That's why the wheel has so much play to it. Had a comment about, fuck no, I try to get the name right. I think it was S something. I fucking sorry, I can't remember these damn names. But so here is a regular, fully regular team associated one. They are basically the same size. The Traxxas one's a little bit longer, but anyways, that's fine. The problem comes from the Traxxas piece. Where is it? Okay, here we go. The reason you can't use this in there is if you look at this, see these holes, this distance is a little shorter than this distance. See how the center of that pin is down here? So it won't work. The pin is too far down into here. So anyways, that's why I swapped them. So this here is the team associated piece. This just slides right in. You don't have to modify it or anything. That piece fits in there, and then you can put a pin through here like normal, like that, and then you could use this piece instead. And you just would need to replace this end, put this on that ball, and you could use this piece and that piece, because when you use this end piece, God, this is going to be so confusing. Hopefully this makes sense. All right, so now I got the team associated piece, Traxxas piece, team associated piece. Put this in here, and the damn pin is in the way again because it's a pain in the ass. There we go. Now look at that, the pin is sticking out. That's pretty sweet. So you could use this. The downside is this is a lot less burly. This piece, you can see how much thinner these pieces are compared to those. And this is what would always break on my other drive shafts. That's why I started experimenting with these in the first place. So not sure if it would be really beneficial because it's still pretty wiggly. And here I'll show you exactly what the problem is with this. So I'll put the Traxxas piece back in here. So this is the fully stock Traxxas part. Then when you put this in here, that's fully seated. See, the pin is only halfway. Not sure the best angle for this, but this pinhole is still halfway covered by the bearing, so you can't get a pin through there. So that's why you can't just use them as is, which is kind of too bad. And then of course this hole is a little too small to fit over this piece. So that's why you got to drill this end out. And you know, or like the suggestion, you could replace these end pieces because the balls are about the same size. The pins are a little bigger though, so could be a bit tricky. I think probably the best way to do this is do pretty much just what I did, which is take this stock Traxxas piece, take that out, drill this out, drill that out, put this in here, and if you drill this just right, you can get it so it's pretty snug still. So we put that in there, and then we put this back in here, and then our pinhole is good, so that's all good. And then with this end, I'm not going to do this on camera because it's a pain in the ass, but because I made it really snug, then we're just going to slide that on there. No, it wasn't so bad actually. Like that. Hopefully I lined it up. Yeah, I did. Oh, that feels good. All right, and we'll tighten that puppy up and leave it. So yeah, the places I was breaking them, it was this piece that I would break, and it was right here. And you can see how much damage there is, how much that gets chewed up in there, because I drive it in a really rough, gravelly area a lot. And I think that was what was happening, is that was grinding away on these tiny, skinny little pieces, and then they would break. Whereas these Traxxas ones just have enough meat that they can absorb more damage. And yeah, so that's that's basically what's up with that. But you could do all kinds of combinations with, you know, using things, and that could help you to reuse parts too. You know, I got all this crap here that I'm gonna eventually want to use if I break something. So the only other piece I've been breaking lately is this lower shock mount, and to replace that is annoying because you got to get a whole shock set, which is silly because I only need that one little piece. You can reuse some of these ends, not those ones, but the there's smaller ones like the ones for the servo. Those kind of work, and then I have some ends from leftover ends from that truck that I've been using. But if anyone knows a generic or Traxxas part or something that's just a, you know, basically this part but not broken, put it in the comments. Let me know if you got a replacement part for that, an option that's not a whole shock set. And you know, something a little stronger would be nice. Doesn't need to have the metal, it just could be the plastic. So let me know what you got. All right, so that's it. I don't know if we're gonna actually go driving today. This week might just be all talking, but that's how it goes sometimes. Hopefully next week we'll be driving again. We'll be flipping and crashing and smashing into stuff. Thanks for watching. Subscribe or not.